This is a tutorial for the assessment section of the Grow app, and I'm going to walk you through what the assessment section looks like and how to add an assessment that you will give one time or how to add an assessment that you will give multiple times, and how to take scores and check them on the student pages. When you open up your app, first the screen that you're seeing will be blank, will be green, and you'll just see your subjects at the top. As you begin to add assessments, they will show up in these squares that are on the screen now. At the top, you see the subjects, and you can filter through your assessments by tapping on those. If you tap on one and highlight it, those are the assessments that will be shown. And if you tap on it again, it'll take it away. If none of them are highlighted, then you will see all of the assessments that you've created. To add a new assessment, you're going to click on the Add Assessment button in the top right-hand corner, and it'll pull up a screen for you to begin entering the information for that assessment. If I only want to give an assessment one time, then I will fill out all of the information that you see on the screen now. So for an example, I'm going to create an assessment for word study. I'll click on subject. It'll pull up all of the subjects that I have available. I'll scroll down to word study and push done. For this assessment, I'm going to name it Short A. And then I am not going to toggle the switch in the rectangle below this one that says Create Grouped Assessment to Graph. I'm going to leave it on No. For a subheading, I will choose Sort, just to give me an idea that this is a sort instead of a test. And I can choose my quarter, so we'll choose quarter 1. You can leave that blank if you would like. And I'm going to choose a scoring type. Since this is a word study subject, it gives me two options, alphabetic or numeric. If this was a reading assessment, you would also have your reading level there available to choose from. I'm going to choose the numeric for this one. Now I need to give it a score range. So my minimum score is going to be a 0. I'll click done. And my max score is going to be 10. Click done again. And then I can choose a date. We'll just stick with today's date. And then click submit. Now you can see that my new assessment has shown up in that top left-hand corner. And I'm going to click on that assessment. And here are all of my students listed out with some of the information I just put in. So I'm going to give a score to Leslie B at the top by clicking on that arrow under score, and at the bottom pops up a scrolling menu, and we're going to see that she got a 9 out of 10 and push done. Over in the right hand column has the title color. Here you can give a student one of 3 colors, or you can leave it blank. We have a stoplight system, so green, yellow, or red to indicate if the student has met the benchmark for that assessment or assignment, or if they are still working towards making progress, or if they need a lot of help or intervention. You can choose the red. A 9 out of 10, she did pretty well. Maybe just made a simple mistake, so I'm going to go ahead and give her a green dot. You can do this for all of your students, and you can come back and change these at any time. I'm now going to go back, push that back button into the assessments, and I'm going to go to the students and show you where this shows up on the student profile. So tapped on the students tab at the bottom, I'm going to tap on Leslie B, and then tap on her assessments, and up there at the top under today's date, the day that I created it, you can see the Short A assessment for quarter 1, a score of 9, and a green for her status. I'm going to go back to the assessment page, and now I'm going to show you how to create an assessment that you may take more than once, or you have multiple assessments that fit into a group, so that you can graph them onto the student information page. I'm going to click that same Add Assessment button in the right corner. And this time, I am going to toggle that switch that is Create Grouped Assessment to Graph. And I'm going to drag that over to the Yes. And you can see that that takes away some of the fields. So now I'm just going to fill in the yellow fields. This time, I'm going to create an assessment for math. I'm going to click on that subject, scroll to Math, click Done. I'm going to give an assessment name. We're going to call this Math Tasks. And I'm going to give it a scoring type. And this is also going to be numeric. And that's all I'm going to fill in for now. And I'm going to push Submit. And you can see that Math Tasks popped up as that first box there. I'm going to click on that first box. And it takes me into my assessments. So here I'm going to add subheadings that will add the actual assessments you're going to give under this parent assessment. I'm going to click on the yellow Add Assessment button and add my first assessment. So the subheading, you can see that the grayed out fields are the ones that we just filled in. And now I'm going to add the subheading. I'm going to call this one Addition. And I can add a quarter if I would like to. I'll go ahead and put it for quarter 1. We'll add a minimum of 0 and a max score of 5. And the date, I'm going to date it back in quarter 1, so back maybe September 24th, 2017, and then click Submit. If it doesn't show up right away, click that back button, back to the main assessment screen, and click back in. There's a little bug that we will get fixed shortly. I'm going to add another assessment. I'm going to click Add Assessment again. This subheading is going to be Subtraction. I'm going to place this in quarter 2, could be quarter 1, or you can leave that blank. We're going to give it a minimum score of 0 and a max score of 5. You can change your max scores and your minimum scores for each assessment within the larger group. And we'll give this a date back in November and click Done. Now I'm going to submit this, and you can see that that came up right away. Now I can create more assessments within this parent assessment, or I can go in and give scores. So I'm going to click on that Addition assessment and give Leslie, let's see, a 4 out of 5. Go ahead and give her green. And then I'm going to click back and click on the Subtraction assessment. I'm going to give Leslie a 5 out of 5. I'm going to click back again. Now I'm going to click back to the student screen and click on Leslie again and go to her assessments. And we created this math tasks for 11/24, so there it is. And next to it, you can see that there's a 2, indicating that there are 2 assessments within that parent assessment. And if I click on this, it will slide out and show me both of her scores for both of the assessments that are there. I'm going to click back and show you that on the graph, this now shows up on her graph because it is a grouped assessment, and you can see the 2 points, the 2 assessments that I have given her scores for and have created there. As you add more, they will also show up on this page. I'm now going to go back to that assessment and add one more so that you can see how this graph changes. Click on the assessment tab. I'm still in this same math tasks assessment that we've created. I'm going to add another assessment. And maybe this time we did subtraction 2. A second subtraction assessment within this group. It was still in quarter 2. I want to give it a minimum range of 0, and this time it was worth 10 points. And the date, we'll say it was December 17th, 2017. I'm going to submit this. You'll see that other one popped up there. I'm going to click on the one we just created. Give Leslie a score. Let's give her a score of 9. Give her the color indicator. And click back so that we're in that parent assessment again. Go to my student screen at the bottom. Click on Leslie. Click on her graph. And now you can see how the graph has scaled to match the minimum and maximum scoring that Leslie received and that I indicated on the assessment. And you can see the third assessment that was plotted for her. That assessment will also show up in her math tasks here. Now there is a 3 next to the math tasks. And if I click on that, you can see all 3 of her scores. And that is how the assessment section of the Grow app works. If you have any other questions, you can email me at amanda@grow-app.com and I would be happy to answer them. Thank you so much.